Hi, my name is Clodagh Jenkins, and I'm going to take you through a project that Parama Chowdhury and I worked on in September 2020, moving a community building project that our students have worked on every year since 2014 online because of the pandemic. A key takeaway from our work, illustrated in this poster, is that with careful preparation and testing ideas out with student partners, there is real value for students and staffs in making the most of the benefits of technology for community building. We are retaining our new approach going forward and indeed adapting the model for other purposes. The First Year Challenge is a group multimedia project that our first year economics students are required to complete in the first couple of weeks of term. They come to us having already selected economics as a major, and we need to ensure that they fully appreciate the breadth of what the study of economics covers, beyond the narrow, popular idea of economics being just about money or finance, and that they straight away learn how to work collaboratively in a manner consistent with our research-based approach to education. In the past, students were assigned to a group of 5 to 8 and asked to meet at a physical location in London near our campus. They were given a brief to produce a 3-minute video or podcast that connected the location to the theme of the first week content of their intro economics course, Capitalism. You can see it from the CTEL YouTube channel in the references that they have always risen to the challenge and produced some amazing outputs. The winners were announced in class during the first term and awarded a prize and certificates at our annual undergraduate conference. This approach has been adopted by other UK universities, linking the project to themes such as Black Lives Matter or to more local campus locations, such as a famous author's home. And we have used the project as the basis for competition for outreach activities for high schools. For September 2020, we were faced with a challenge of our own. We knew that students could be studying remotely all around the world, and even those in London were restricted in where they could meet and in how many could meet up together. We also had our largest cohort ever, with student numbers of around 800 compared to a norm of 400. The format for the first year challenge needed to change. We, working with student partners from upper years, decided it was best to keep the brief the same, retaining what worked well, and to focus on how to make the format work online. As always, students were assigned to small groups and were given a location near our institution to link to the topic of capitalism. Now the groups met in private channels in MS Teams, and the locations were assigned through a virtual interactive map. We provided some but limited advice on how to produce multimedia outputs when students were working in different locations, indeed in different time zones. We were quite nervous about adapting the model online. One concern was that MS Teams and/or the mapping software would not work in all countries where our students were, with firewalls and similar, or that people would struggle with online meetings if they had connection issues. Our student interns piloted all the technology, making sure it worked by testing it with peers all around the world. It was a great relief to know that it was working at varying bandwidths in all countries. A related concern was that students would not know how to engage with each other through online platforms, bearing in mind they did not know each other. At this point, we were all very new to working professionally and teaching and learning online. Staff and students were learning together, and we were so impressed with the ingenuity of our students throughout the whole process of meeting each other and creating great outputs. We knew we could never replicate meeting in person, but wanted to ensure that whatever community building value came from the first year challenge, it lived on into the academic year. We connected the first year challenge teams to small group teaching groups in all the first year compulsory courses, and the teams had the same personal tutor and the same second year transition mentor to help them settle into university. Embedding the first year challenge into the support structures helped to scaffold the sense of community after the project was finished. Not all students, in any year, like the experience of being thrown into the deep end with people they don't know with this project. Moving online did not change this, with very similar feedback to previous years. The main difference, however, was that students valued more than ever the opportunity to meet peers when the ways of doing this themselves, for example in halls or walking out of a lecture class, were not there anymore. It is also great to see that students recognised and continued to value the opportunities to learn about places in London and to make connections between the real world and the economics they were learning. We did not seem to have lost the purpose and value of the project by moving it online, and for many the flexibility of meeting online was invaluable in a pandemic context. It was also very useful for us being online, as we could see when groups met on MS Teams on the first day and could reach out to support those we saw who were not engaging. In the past, we of course could not see if someone had not shown up to the physical location. We were also easily able to answer student questions in the chat in MS Teams and make announcements through the project period in one place. It was great to see nearly 100% engagement with a project that has no credit attached to it. Roll forward to September 2021, and we had most of our students on campus, although not all, and at that point far fewer restrictions in London. We considered reverting to pre-pandemic approach to the first year challenge, but realised it was more flexible for us and students to work with the online version. That left the choice with students whether to meet in person or online after the initial required meetup on MS Teams. Being online provided us with scope to extend and be more adventurous with our choice of London locations, and as mentioned, enabled us to monitor and engage with students better. It also provided a more level experience for those few students who had not yet arrived in London, or indeed for those who were less comfortable coming to campus. The approach also got students used to the adaptable teaching model we use, with a mix of asynchronous, online learning and on-campus lessons. We successfully ran the online model again and expect to do so in the future. And we are now preparing a second year challenge, theme around inclusivity and the BAME community in economics, to reinvigorate community building when students start their second year of learning. Our second year is the most challenging of the degree, and after a long summer break, students need to regroup with each other and remind themselves of what economists really do before embarking into more detailed technical courses. We would strongly recommend this approach to introducing students to economics, its applications, and to each other, for any type of programme. And we would be happy for you to reach out by email or on Twitter if you want to chat more about what could be done in your context.